right.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another session of the Fall of Illidion. We're on episode 30 this week, so very excited. And we're excited to be here with you. We do have a few announcements before we get going. We are doing a giveaway, as it says in the title. We'll be doing that giveaway this Wednesday. We are giving away a copy of D&D's new upcoming book, Candlekeep Mysteries. So if you're interested in getting yourself a free copy of Candlekeep Mysteries, we are going to be giving that away live on stream on Wednesday. If you want to enter that drawing, the directions for how to enter are on our Twitter account, which of course is listed on our stream right below me. So feel free to go there, follow the directions on our pinned post on the page, and get in to get yourself a chance of a copy of Candlekeep Mysteries this Wednesday. With that being said, we're happy to be back. We're going to go ahead and get into it. And we're going to be going through our stream today. This will be our last stream with Alistair with us. So we'll be wrapping him up today. We're going to miss him. He's deploying again. He's very excited about that. Yep. So
right. American hero.
So, but we do thank him for his service. We have in this group, we do have very strong veteran ties. We have active service from Alistair. I myself am a veteran, and a lot of our players also have family that have served. So it's something that's pretty important to us, and we thank him for what he's doing.
Looks like Big Brain will be sad to see you go. Good use of the emote. At least we'll still have the emote, everybody.
Big Brain, I'll miss her too. Don't worry, I'll be lurking on the streams and whatnot. We'll figure it all out.
Thank you, Halo. 5 gift subs. I swear Halo's privately financing our stream, so we appreciate that. And look at that, number 1 on the gift subs. So we definitely appreciate that, Halo. And that brings us up to, we only need 7 more subs. 7 more subs, and we unlock a new emote for you guys. So,
really, which emote is that?
don't
do it.
Don't tell him not to do it. We want him to do it. Go ahead, Alistair. I'll take your money.
I spent it all on Chick-fil-A today.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I had to budget it out.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Shelbo. We haven't seen you in a few weeks. It's nice to have you with us. With that, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get into our recap of last week's very interesting session in which our party finally returned to Emberfall after their long sojourn south to Darrendur, in which they attempted to find and locate the assassins that had attempted to take out Togrik's clan and family. Welcome to Morbid Barbie. Nice to have you. Be excited for this Thursday too when we go back to some Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, so we're back in Emberfall, the Fall of Illidion. As our party approached the city, riding north, several days along the road, they went along, the rain pouring down, the rest of the party cursing underneath their breath at Alistair, who had caused them to have to journey over land and now get stuck out in the torrent that was coming down from the skies. Gerard, his dreams continuing, sent to him from the pits, his dreams had changed up a bit on us, as instead of dreaming of Gregor's screams in the Black Tower across the bridge, he instead began to dream of Gregor and him standing on top of the cliffs of Point Valiant, looking out upon the gorge as they had so many times during his training, seeing the mighty Griffin cavalry flying above the sky. They would stand together, and as he turns to look at him, seeing his face peeling down, rotting away. It was a disturbing sight, and he didn't quite know what to make of it as they tried to deal with that along the road. When they finally reached the city, it looks quite different. Most of the refugees from Illidion, after it had fallen, are encamped in a almost massive, sprawling tent city, taking over the sprawl in the southwestern corridor of Emberfall. Outside of the walls, the guard patrols had almost tripled in the area, and the people looked gaunt and hungry. As they rode through, things were tense until Kilroy decided he was going to try to feed. Kilroy was going to try to feed some of the people, and he started a riot as the starved refugees from the tent city tried to rush them. They tried to ride towards the city, barely making it into the gates, where they had learned that food was in scarce supply in Emberfall. After the devils had attacked the city, they had destroyed most of the food stores, leaving people starving and hungry. They had sent for aid from nearby cities, but it had not yet come, and tensions were high. It was just a few weeks ago they had learned that the Duke of Illidion went out there to try to be with his people and was attacked by his own. He barely escaped with his life, and his son was still missing. So, learning this and getting a little bit more understanding of what's going on, they also learned about the new sword tax in Emberfall that required them to pay a tax to wield their weapons in the city in an effort to curb violence and unrest. Some of them decided to go ahead and pay that tax. Some of them decided to circumvent the tax. But either way, the party split off in their own directions. Alistair endeavoring to make his way to Northridge, the small village on the outskirts of Emberfall to the north of the wall, in which he would try to go home and see his servants that live there, and hopefully his home would still be his own. At the same time, Tagric and Gerard decided that they were going to go to the bowels of the city through the sewers to the sanctuary of the Path of Dusk, where Tagric would take Gerard to see his Grand Master, Joros Vash, to look over Gerard's dreams and study him. Kilroy, then, if I remember correctly, he went to go to Emberfall Academy to speak to the Grand Master, Alkaz Denakar, as well. So they split up on their different ways. Alistair making his way north to Northridge via the sprawl, going back outside, in which he was assaulted by some of the people out there as he was seen, thanks to some fights that were dropped by our wonderful viewers. And he met Ashley Domnus, that NPC created by Halo AE, who decided to accompany Alistair north to Northridge, where he would show her his home and how he had strove to take care of the poor of the city. Kilroy went to Emberfall Academy, where he spoke a bit to Alkaz and learned new interesting tidbits about how Gerard's dreams could possibly be working, and Alkaz agreed to observe Gerard during his sleep. Gerard and Tagric got the relatively same answers from Joros Vash. Tagric a bit upset with the current dynamic of nobody really being interested and able to save Vythe. Didn't really say much, as he's a bit frustrated with his order right now. They eventually then went to see Jonah, who had a bit more information for them. And I think at the end there, where we wrapped up, Alistair had finally gotten to his home and realized that it had been taken over by the government. Before they left Emberfall, his, we'll say, stepbrother, I believe that's the correct term, had shown up and had sued for a part of his inheritance. And so it's currently held in limbo. As he was walking out and going over to his orphanage, he was assaulted and he was jumped by a few people after he realized some of his friends and a girl and one of his servants were missing. He chose to give himself up rather than risk any more loss of life. And I believe that is where we ended. Does that cover everything, guys? It was a pretty eventful session.
I think that covers everything. Technically, I think he's adopted brother.
Yeah, so you're the adopted one, and he's the full brother. So I just don't know. I think that would make you guys stepbrothers. I'm not sure.
Brother-in-law?
No, it's
not brother-in-law.
It's still adoptive brothers though, because like there's no blood in between each other.
Brother by law,
Hey,
but not in law.
If you know what we would call them, drop it in the chat, guys, because we have no idea.
Short-handed. We'll call him the asshole one. Wait, that doesn't work either, does it?
There we go. That's fair.
I ended up going to sleep in the castle, waiting to talk to Luke.
Well, but Halo. So Alistair's the adopted one, though, and the other one is the real one.
He's still an adoptive brother, you know. Like since I'm the adopted, the adoptee is still part of the adopted brother.
Ohana means family. I love that to more.
There is no Ohana between me and my adoptive brother.
Thank you guys for all the subs, by the way. Just so you know, we are only 2 away from getting that new emote. You guys are the best, and we appreciate all the support. With that, we're going to go ahead and get into the game. So, coming around to Gerard and Togric, I believe, Kilroy, you are currently sleeping at the palace after having met with Alcaz and made your way back. Gerard and Togric, I believe you guys are currently on your way to Alistair's house. Is that correct?
Yeah. No, actually, I believe we were heading towards the academy looking for Kilroy originally.
That is correct.
All right.
But neither of us have a way to fly, so.
That's fair enough. So, as night has fallen at this point, as you guys make your way through the old quarter of Emberfall, the streets are silent, as the guard presence has definitely stepped up. More than once, you guys are stopped, and they ask you if you have any weapons. But of course, Gerard, currently holding all of your weapons in his bag, you have none, and are thus allowed to pass. But you can definitely tell that the guards are on edge in the city as you make your way through.
Somebody needs to tell these boys a joke. They look ready to kill at the drop of a hat. So I kind of am looking around as we're strolling through Emberfall here.
I feel like a demon attack would do that to you.
This is one demon attack and everybody gets so upset. It's like it's their first time or something. It's kind of flippant.
Emberfall had it a lot better off than Illidion for sure, but it could have been Illidion.
It could have been another Illidion, I suppose. You're right. But enough of that for now. We've had
as you guys continue to talk to each other as you make your way through, you see the arcane barrier that separates Emberfall Academy from the rest of the city. Just above that towering wall, you can see the floating castle, the floating spire held down by chains coming down into the depths behind that wall. The violet light, the violet and gold alternating light coming around from the pinnacle of the tower as always.
Oh, don't suppose you happen to have one of those, Griffin cavalry hanging around that your order's so famous for?
Not a chance.
Well, that's awkward. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to be getting up there to get Kilroy.
Maybe if we ask nicely.
Ask nicely. Sure. I'll let you do that as I, take a back seat.
I mean, if we could just knock on the front door.
The front door 2 stories in the air?
Correct.
Throw me. I'll make it. I'm sure. Plant my feet a little firmly on the ground. Unless you wanted to throw a stone, something tells me we'd have a hard time knocking.
As you guys are kind of standing there on the other side of the arcane barrier, talking to each other about how you're going to get up there. Let's see. I didn't even have my dice out yet. What am I doing? All right. You hear a, "Hey, what are you guys doing there?" as you look down and see a guard patrol of about 4 men walking down the way, as you are also being eyed warily by some of the mages that stand outside the arcane barrier.
We were just wondering if we could get a lift.
A little more detail than that
A
before
lift
he gets
where?
stabbed.
As they kind of hands float down to sidearms.
Honestly, not even recognizing 2 of the supposed heroes of Emberfall is kind of insulting. We're looking for one of the Professor Emeritus, who pays some time to the Academy.
Heroes of Emberfall, as one of them in the back and it hits him. Sergeant! That's the champion! As they go, we're sorry, my lords. As the mage also, his eyes kind of grow, but then he stops and he begins to walk over as well. You were trying to get into the academy.
We're looking
mage
for a friend
steps
of
over.
ours. Kilroy, he's a Professor Emeritus here.
Come on, let me, I can open the gate and let you in. If you walk over, I don't think either one of you guys knows how to fly, but if you walk over to the administrative building down on the ground floor, they might be able to check the logs for you and see if he's been here today. They'll be able
Appreciate
to
it.
tell you if he's still there, but we won't be able to get you up there if you can't get up there yourself.
It's kind of a asinine rule, but whatever. Dwarves were meant to be on the ground. And of course, we have a dab in chat, so I have to, There you go. I took the first one. Kilroy, you're taking the next 3.
I don't know. I kind of figured the Oathsworn symbol might have given away that we weren't necessarily bad guys, but
Anybody can put a medal on their chest and try to hide their way through something. It's understandable caution, but it doesn't make it any less annoying.
When you say that, the sergeant goes, "Sorry, sir. I didn't see your emblem. I just saw the armor in the darkness. You can never be too careful, especially in today's day and age."
I understand.
Yeah, and he's carrying a literal mountain of weapons and equipment, as you're also carrying mine, which is completely understandable. Don't work too hard. Oh boy. I know we're not supposed to be looking at the chat, but somebody's saving up for Infernal Intervention.
Do it!
Great. Glad we added that.
All right.
I don't want to be there for that.
As you guys walk up to the gate, the air begins to shimmer as the arcane barrier drops, allowing you guys to pass through the arcane gate into the courtyard of Emberfall Academy. As you look around, despite the late hour, the place is still well lit as floating green, red, and purple lanterns float across the courtyard. Of course, all underneath the floating spire, almost it's standing on top of it like an upside down mountain, just an earth moat floating above the courtyard, held down by long, thick iron chains and clamped into the ground. It stands towering above the rest of the city. But of course, the initiates, travelers, and other people who come here to seek knowledge that don't yet have the power on their own to reach the spiraling citadel stay down in the courtyard. As you look around and you see, even at this late hour, people out on patios studying by candlelight, strange beasts and creatures flittering through the bushes and soaring through the air, weird smells as you see a building off in front of you, a kind of fountain in front. It's a tall, proud mage with his staff out as water begins to float out of it. It says administration building, or administration office across the front.
I'm gonna let you do the talking. That, and you have all the weapons, so they might actually answer you.
All right.
All right, so as you guys make your way through the courtyard, for the most part, most people give you a wide berth. Seeing your armor and weapons is not common in this area. As you look around and you notice you don't even see any guards here, as people aren't used to this kind of militarized outpost. as you go in, entering into the administration office, behind the behind the behind the counter, you'll see a small elfin man, very petite, with brown skin, clean shaven. He kind of looks up for you. So, what brings you here?
We were trying to see if Gilroy Thumperdiddle checked in today.
Kilroy Thumperdiddle, as he kind of pulls out this big tome. All right, is he a member of the Academy?
The Professor Emeritus.
Professor Emeritus. I don't have any in our records. If he came, he didn't check in.
Maybe he went to the palace like we were supposed to, as I kind of eyeball you.
Maybe he flew up without checking in.
That sounds more like Kilroy.
How do we get up there?
Well, as the elf kind of looks out at you, you could cast the fly spell. If not, I mean, we don't allow. You have to be able to get up there of your own accord in order to earn the right to go through the library.
I don't need to go to the library.
I'm about to start climbing these chains. I mean, he knows we have to meet with the Duke at some point, so he's pretty diligent from what we've seen. Maybe we can just meet him there. Saves us time. Plus, don't necessarily want to climb that, as I do gesture to the various unconventional means to get up to the...
Yeah, as the chains come up, they kind of sweep up to where it's almost flat or horizontal against the ground until it climbs to a 45-degree angle and then going straight up. It would probably be a 300-foot climb because of the angle.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm not interested in splatting my brains all over the cobblestone steps, so how about we just not do that and hope he goes where he's supposed to later.
All right.
Thanks for the time, as I, nod my head to the administrator here and turn off towards the palace.
Okay. So, Gerard, you're following him back to the palace?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys make your way through the courtyard, past the arcane gate again, making your way to the palace. Are you guys going to go through the Dwarfen Quarter or Hightown?
Either one has a gate, right?
They both have a gate. Dwarfen Quarter is longer, but you're not going to walk through the destruction of Hightown. Because Hightown, of course, if you weren't here last week when I explained it, that is where the rift was open to the Seven Hells, from which the demons and devils spewed forth into the city.
It's probably less populated. I doubt we'll find any trouble, given that, as I flick your Oathsworn emblem.
Ah, yes, because they noticed it so well last time.
Yeah, well, you're also basically a mountain of steel, so I'm willing to take my chances. Hightower or Dwarven District, either way, you pick.
I'm going to take Hightower.
All right, as you guys head over to Hightown.
Anyway.
Fair enough. As you guys head over to Hightown, making your way through the destroyed manors and mansions, this was once a beautiful, towering place where the rich, powerful lords of Emberfall and the merchants lived. You make your way through to Zenithar's gate, going through the debris. As you're walking through, both of you roll me a perception check.
Sure thing. Yes. Alright, sorry about the delay there. Still pulling up my character sheet. Okay.
Fire.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Alright, perception. Fingers
Yes.
crossed. 26.
All right. So as you're walking through, going through, you all out of the corner of your eye, you see something move as you hear the grinding of wood coming down as beams jostled by walking through the debris begin to fall on top of you because of that. It's a trap. Both of you roll me a reflex save, but Togric, you may take advantage because you passed the perception check.
I will need it. You hit me with a mundane trap on my terrible reflex save. No even bonuses against a magical one here. Alright. Roll good, please. Alright, 14.
You have advantage.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I mean, granted, I don't know if I'll be doing much better than a 14. 18. Alright.
Alright, that second one will allow you to pass, and you will take half damage on this. So, and you passed as well, Gerard, so you will both take 12 points of damage.
Alright.
As this log slips down, smashing into the ground, causing other debris to fall as you get rained by nails and bits of splintered wood coming down on top of you.
So they start plucking out a few splinters. You might have... we should have taken the Dwarven District. So I step very carefully from here forward. You alright, sir?
So,
Just
yeah, you've been covered by wood and debris.
just an occupational hazard. It was a lot worse the last time we were here.
Yeah, well... At least you can fight demons. How am I supposed to fight rubble? Kick some rocks out of the way.
Wear heavy enough armor.
Ha 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 ha! As I point to my golden mail, it doesn't seem to do much to the squishy bits inside the armor.
As you look at your golden mail, viewing it, you realize now that it's been hit by these nails. Part of it's almost chipped off with time. And as you look at it, you realize it's only gilded. And it's made of a metal underneath. You can roll me a blacksmithing check to determine what type of metal.
Why did I waste all of the skill points in perform bartending? Alright.
Do you not have blacksmithing?
No, I do. It's just not good. Yeah.
Alright.
15.
It is adamantine gilded in gold.
Oh, my god. As I'm looking at this metal. Huh. I probably should have known. It should have weighed a lot more than it does. Like, give it a couple of thumps on my gauntleted knuckles. For them to pull this much adamantine out, I'll have to take a closer look at this stuff later. Once we're not in danger of dying by beam bludgeoning. Keep walking.
Alright, you make your way through Ember's Fall, to the Gate of Flame, where just as Kilroy last week, you approach two Blood Knights standing outside the gate. This massive dragon's maw peering over the top of the gate as flames drip down its face, covering, as there is no door on the Gate of Flames, but only flames as you approach.
Need to go see, Alexander.
Name.
Togric Hammerfist and Gerard St. Ives.
As these unnerving, unmoving towers of armor wait here as the one turns and just walks straight through the flames.
These things always take forever. As the other one's just still standing in front of us here. Or...
A few moments pass before the gate is lowered, as standing on the other side is Kilroy, who has been fetched by the Blood Knights to bring you to his apartments. Your apartments.
Huh.
As you see Kilroy standing there with Bella the bear.
Hey, there you guys are.
Told you he was diligent.
I figured he didn't check in.
Yeah, that's also a safe assumption. We thought you went to the college.
Oh, I did. I walked through the gate and went straight to the top.
Ugh. I swear, ever since you got Fly, it seems to be your new favorite spell.
I knew I wasn't wrong.
Aha, Mr. Self-Assured. It's good to see you, Kilroy. You've seen Alistair lately? Thought he'd be by now.
He told me not to come to his house and then left.
Oh,
He said I wasn't allowed, so I came here. This place is much better anyway.
he's finally talking to Elaine then. All right. As just a refresher, Elaine is his housekeeper. And did you meet with Alexander yet, or just sleeping in the palace?
I'm meeting with him tomorrow, but me and Gerard have a date with Alcaz tonight.
I guess I'll keep myself busy as I, sort of examine my armor a little bit more.
You're more than welcome to come if you want.
No, that's okay. Being near Alcaz is unnerving. So, have fun with that.
I'll try. Thank you. You ready, Gerard?
Sleeping somewhere warm would be nice for a change.
Okay.
Am I ready to sleep?
You ready to go see Alcaz?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
By the way, here's this. And I pull out a sending stone that I got from Alcaz. Give it to you.
Thank you.
I asked for this from Alcaz, so if you see this in your dream, try to use it to talk.
It's a good idea.
Let's get going.
All right.
Come on, Bella.
So you guys are heading over now back to Emberfall Academy then, while Togric is led inside. I'll stay with you, Togric, as you make your way up through the palace into the luxury apartments that your group has been afforded within the Grand Palace. You walk into the large antechamber, the long table filled with even at this late hour, with a bunch of snacks, cheeses, fruits, even a pie set out for you, still steaming, seemingly, with a pitcher of wine and a pitcher of ale set out for your enjoyment. A fire roaring in the fireplace.
Still as decadent as ever, even in a... Whatever. I sit down and I help myself to that steaming pie.
Okay. As you slice it open and enjoy a fine piece of blackberry pie, we're going to come over to Alistair. So the last time we saw Alistair, he had willingly given himself over to the group that had ambushed him as he was hit in the back of the head and passed out. Alistair, as you'll awaken, your head dazing, a ringing in your ears, you open your eyes to blackness, your hands and feet bound, as you realize you're bound to a chair. And for a moment, everything is dark, and as your eyes begin to adjust, you look around and you realize you've been tied to a chair that is sitting inside of the large room, maybe 15 feet wide and 15 feet long. It's a cobblestone room with no window. While most people wouldn't be able to see in here, though, your catfolk eyes begin to adjust as you look about the room. There's a bit of straw strewn across the ground and a large wooden door bound by iron in the corner of the room.
Well, I guess you guys are out there, so what's up? What you guys need?
As you call out into the darkness, your own voice seems to ring back at you, but no one responds. You can, at this point now, your eyes have acclimated, and as you look about the room, you can see every corner of the room, and you don't see anybody else in here with you.
Fantastic. I'm gonna do a strength check to try to break out.
Do it.
Let's see what we get. 11.
With that 11, you manage to kind of split your arms apart, almost wiggling against the the rope, allowing to give you a bit more move. Go ahead and try to roll one more time.
All right. Actually, could I just use with that movement? Would I be able to use my claws to just cut the rope?
Yeah, I'll allow that since you do
Okay.
have the natural claw weapons. You kind of slice through your binds, and then slicing through your leg binds, allowing you to step up, stand in the room. As you look around, you realize that your gear has been taken from you as you just wear your undertunic and breeches. Your boots still tied to your feet, but your armor and axe is gone.
Fun. Super fun. Alright, well. Let's see here. I could probably... Let's go see if that door's unlocked.
Okay. So as you head over to the corner, checking to see if the door is unlocked, you give it a quick jiggle as you feel it locked against you. But you do hear just straining, just voices off in the distance. Roll me a perception check to see if you can make out what they're talking about.
Jeez.
All right. You strain against the door, attempting to hear the voices off in the distance. You can't make out everything, but you do hear, well, shit, what does the boss want to do with him? And you don't quite hear the response from the other voice. It's quite too quiet for you to make out. But then you hear the same voice respond, well, I mean, fuck, then what are we going to do with her? As the voices trail off into the distance.
Well, shit. Let's try to break the door open.
All right. As you kind of take a step back, bracing yourself, you give a solid charge, throwing your shoulder into the door. Give me that strength check. All right. With a 24, you charge forward, just thoof, as you see lines begin to crack as the door, the iron still holding strong, but the wood begins to crack throughout the door. Give me another one as you kind of pull back, your arm very sore and bruised, but you prepare for another charge.
Here's Alistair.
All right. As you come forward, pushing into the door, it holds fast as you realize you probably would need something to leverage against this door in order to break through, or it would take you quite a while.
Okay. Alright, so I would obviously need something to leverage. Luckily, there's a bunch of broken wood now. I could just go break off a piece of the wood chair.
All right. So as you go over there, kind of breaking off the long piece of the leg, so give me a dexterity check to see. Give us a dexterity check to see if you break off a proper amount. That'll work with a 22 as you break off the leg of the chair, kind of leveraging against the door as you throw up. The door. Give me a strength check.
Alright. It's not been going great.
Rough.
Yeah, looks like that's
Give me one more before the wood breaks. I'll give you one more chance.
Not even.
Nope. As you go to smash through, your stick just shatters in half. Your stick shatters in half. That attempt does not work. Though there are other legs of the chair, or you can try something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of bang on the door and be like, hey, what's up, guys?
Okay.
Do you hear me?
So you bang on the door. Let me You hear a voice off in the distance. Alistair, is that you? Alistair.
Yep, there's Elaine. Alright. Let's go try to...
So as you listen to the voice, you realize it's Sarah.
Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
It is not Elaine, it is the 6-year-old Sarah.
Well, alright, now you pissed me off.
Alright,
So...
as with this anger, you realizing that Sarah's been captured, combined with that Ada hero from the chat, you'll take a step back, getting a running jump. As you smash through the door, it breaks down, falling over into splinters. As you look out into the dungeon that you've been surrounded in, directly across from you, in another cell, you see peering through the door, these small eyes looking back at you as you see a series of doors down the hallway leading into another wooden door at the end. This one's slightly ajar, and not reinforced like the rest.
So, I gotta go try to get Sarah, so I gotta go open that door. Or see if that's locked or not. So I'm gonna be like,
Okay.
alright, Sarah,
As
I'm
you
coming to you.
As you come over to
Get you
that
outta
door, it is locked, but as you peer around, you see at the end of the hallway near the ajar wooden door a keychain hanging from the wall.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab that. We're gonna go grab it and bring it back and unlock that door.
Okay. As you come over, grabbing the keys as they begin to jingle, you quickly unlock the door. As you pull it ajar, as Sarah runs and jumps up into your arms, softly sobbing into your chest fur.
That's fine. We're gonna get you out of here.
They took us in. They asked about you, and then Elaine. I don't know what they did with her.
Alright. Well, let's get you out of here. Get you safe. So, it's a dungeon, so I gotta figure out where the stairs are. Let's go check out that door that was slightly ajar. We're gonna try to get Sarah out of here.
Okay. As you run over to the door is slightly ajar. As you come through it, you'll burst out into another room. This one dimly lit. As you go around, you'll see there's a group off in the distance. 3 guys sitting there wearing similar garb, this light armor and long flowing cloaks of the same ones that took you before. The area is mostly open. There's a few chairs over in the corner, kind of thrown over to the side, a table kind of pushed up against the wall. As off in the distance, you will see Elaine. She has been tied to the wall. As the guards, you kind of sit there, they're slowly just throwing knives at her, as she has maybe 4 of them already stuck in her.
I'm gonna set Sarah down and be like, go hide real quick.
Okay, as Elaine looks up, she kind of makes eye contact with you for a moment, bleeding, tears running down her cheeks.
This is gonna get kind of stupid. I'm gonna try to sneak up as close as I can to them without them hearing me.
Okay, roll me a stealth check. Let's
20.
see. 20? Alright, you make your way silently behind them, unaware of their presence as another one turns. Do you think I could put this one at her knee? As he just throws, missing it. No, you're trash, as another one picks up a knife. I bet I could put this one in her shoulder.
How many of them are there?
There are 3. Their weapons are kind of sitting off to the side, leaned against a pillar, as they've got this like small, almost crate that they've set up a whole bunch of knives on. It's almost like they're trying to play darts.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to sneak up to the one that's like closest to me. I guess the one that's furthest far away from the other group. All right.
All right, that'll work. So at this point, you sneak up behind him. Are you grabbing their weapon, or are you just using your hands?
I'm using my hands, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up behind the guy and use my claws and basically try to rip his throat out from behind.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that attack, and then let me see if I can get a map set up. Give me just a second.
Okay, well, I gotta look at this because... Oh wait, no, mine natural.
Thank you, Risky Brewer. Go ahead and roll that initiative while I'm getting this set up.
Alright. 25 on the initiative, and then...
This doesn't want to load, so we'll go ahead and theater of the mind this, because this program doesn't want to load for a second. You got a 25 on initiative?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, so you go first as you're walking up behind this man, as they're kind of laughing and joking with each other, still ambivalent to your approach. As you come up behind him, roll your attack as you try to pull his throat
I did
out.
before the initiative.
Okay, with a 31. Alright, so as you go ahead and peel into him, launching that savage blow with your claws, you'll land the attack. Go ahead and roll the damage.
My claws are 1d6, right?
No, they're a D8 because they're claws. No, you're right. It's a D6. It's a D8 if you have improved natural weapon, which you don't have.
Okay, but it's 1d6.
Yeah, it's 1d6 plus your strength.
So, with Savage Blow, it's 2d6. Oh, wait. Yeah. Plus... Give me 1 sec. I gotta go take a gander at my strength. Oh, plus 5.
Monk in the making over here.
10.
All right. As you go peeling into him, you lash out as he's completely unexpected, dealing double damage. He just begins to... as he chokes on his own blood falling to the ground, as you hear a piercing scream from Sarah behind you, as both of them turn around. Hey! Oh, fuck, he killed Frederick! Get him!
What's up,
All
boys?
right.
How we doing?
You'll die for that, cat! As both of them are going to run over and grab their weapons.
Okay.
Picking up a mace and a shield, turning to you, kind of taking a low stance as they eye each other, neither one willing to approach you first.
Okay, so I still have movement and swift action. So for my swift action, I'm going to go into my Wolf Fang technique.
Okay.
So I'm going to do more animalistic, basically all fours. Be like, yeah, you guys are going to die. And then I'm going to move over to him. I assume he's within 60 feet.
Oh, yeah, they're within 60 feet. This room's only like 20 feet wide.
Okay, and then I'm going to go after the one with the mace. And attack him.
Okay.
Gotta take 5 off this roll.
Ooh, with a 20. As you come around, smashing into him, you get 2 attacks, don't you?
Well, technically, wouldn't this be my second attack?
No, it's a new round. That was their round.
I like that. Alright, yeah, so I get 2 attacks. So actually, don't take 5 off this. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, you hit with the 25.
Yeah. Slash R 1d6. Yeet! Plus 5 is 7.
Alright, it's 7 points of damage on that first hit. As you launch into him, go ahead and roll your second attack.
5 off this one.
31.
So 26.
As you launch into him. So your second attack, since you're a catfolk, I believe can be a bite. So you can roll 1d8 plus time and a half your strength.
Yeah, we're gonna try to bite his neck, rip through his throat. So /R 1d8. I've never had to do this.
Yeah, you always have your axe.
Oh, this is actually kind of fun. Plus time and a half. That's 5. We round up. That's 8. So 13 damage.
As you just tear into this one as well, as you just rip his throat out as he crumples to the ground. The other one turning to you, just out of panic, taking a swipe at you. Does a 15 hit you, remembering you're not wearing any armor?
So really, it's do you have at least 6 decks mod? Is what he's asking you, which is kind of dirty.
I mean, I technically do have a 6 dex mod. It's touch AC, right?
No, it's just regular AC.
Oh, yeah. No, you hit. Wait, no.
All right.
Regular AC is 10 plus your dex, right?
Yep.
Yep.
At the moment, yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, it's 16.
All right, so he... Well, oh yeah, you're right. Okay. As he comes missing you, he looks at you. Now, there's no reason for anyone else to die here today. Why don't you just go through the door and we'll pretend like I didn't see you?
Which door?
That door over there. Just go.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill him too.
Oh my god. Is he just like backing up in panic like, I don't want to die? Roll your attack. You will hit with an 18.
Alright, so /R 1d6 plus 5 is 8, and then second attack I'm going to try to bite him.
Alright, 8 points of damage on that first attack as he's backing up and you just come in with your claws, scraping up his leg, coming down. Your second attack hits as you just launch onto him, just gnawing into his shoulder.
Yeah, I want him to bleed. R/1d8. Oh wait, /R 1d8. I've been doing so good with it too.
You have better than me by far.
Alright,
Yeah,
as you just smashing into him, he just falls to the ground, you on top of him, as he's dead. As at this point, we'll come over to Kilroy and Gerard. As you guys have made your way across the city, successfully, once again, Kilroy gaining entrance to the to Emberfall Academy, as you guys are now standing in the courtyard beneath the towering citadel. Figure out how you're going to get up there.
Hey Gerard, hop on, as I pat Bella's back.
All right. As I hop on the back of Bella.
We fly up.
All right, as you guys hop onto the back of Bella, you guys fly up, swirling through the skies and around the chains. Where are you going specifically? Are you going straight to? Are you going? All right, so you fly up, then going straight to the High Citadel, landing at the tower. As everybody at this point knows who you are, you I'm laughing at the chat here. As you guys make your way inside of the Citadel, Alcaz, of course, expecting you, having left instructions. So when you walk in, there's a young human boy, maybe no more than 13 or 14, wearing an initiate's robes, who is kind of sitting there standing idly as you walk in. Professor Thumperdiddle.
Yes, 'tis I.
Oh, and is this your companion, Sir Gerard? I assume.
Yes.
Welcome to Emberfall Academy. I believe the Grand Master has made accommodations for you. I'm to take you there.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Okay, if you'll follow me, sirs.
Let's go.
All right, as he leads you down a side passageway through a winding hall, eventually coming into a large open room. There's a series of beds that you can see set into the room with kind of sheets or sometimes cloth separating them, or even sometimes blocking them from your sight. As you see, some of the beds are occupied, some are not, but you see magi of the academy of various ranks and stature walking through, quickly making notes and jostling. Some people are asleep, some are in various states of illness and disease. Others look distorted and mangled beyond imagining. Some are maimed, as you realize this is a room for experiments.
Oh, I was not told anything about this.
If as he kind of pulls off to one of the beds on the side, Sir Gerard, if you'll go ahead and lay down, the Grandmaster will be along in a moment.
Thank you.
As he kind of guides you into the chair, allowing you to lie down on the bed as he closes the blinds behind you and Kilroy. You can hear the wails and the screams of the afflicted off in the distance. Some cries of, "Mother! Help! Mother! Just make it stop!" And others of, thank you, sir!" And, of course, the occasional snoring off in the distance.
I don't know how those people can snore with people yelling like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah, me either.
A few moments pass as the cacophonous noise continues. Eventually, you hear the clattering of footsteps off in the distance as the curtains part, revealing Al-Kaz once again standing in front of you. For those of you that have missed him, Al-Kaz stands about 6'1". He's a towering, dark-skinned man, closely cropped, gray hair. I'll say black, graying at the temples, with a very closely cropped black and gray goatee. Very well put together with today he wears long flowing violet robes, lined in silver. As he kind of walks in and opens the door. Sorry about the location, but we only have so much space for studying, and all the tools that I might need are here. How are you feeling, Gerard?
Normal, I guess. Doesn't really affect me till I sleep.
You haven't felt weaker lately? Maybe more tired? Felt an extra added weight or fatigue as you realize he's pulling out a notepad and a quill.
I mean, I'm under a lot of stress.
Well, anything could be. So you have felt tired with an added burden recently.
Yeah. Maybe a bit
Headache?
more.
Headaches?
No.
Okay. As he just continues to write down. Waking visions?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll ask the basic questions before we get started. I'm sure Kilroy's already been through this for you. Have you recently encountered a greater demon?
How recent?
We'll say maybe a week before the vision started.
What if he killed somebody who was helping demons?
That's not the same. For the most part, I don't know if that would work, but of course I'm aware of the encounter beneath the city. But I didn't know if you had maybe encountered a greater demon during that conflict that maybe you didn't want to talk about, or of course don't know what happened in Darrendur.
No. No. No greater demons.
All right. Have you recently acquired or picked up any unknown or mysterious artifacts or items of unknown origin?
Nope. No, I don't believe we have.
It's a real memory test right now.
Right.
Maybe. It sounds like something
James
we
is sitting
do.
here like, inventory. No. It's all right. Well, then what we're going to do is I want you to lay back and try to sleep. the same as you normally would. Don't let the fact that I'm here or Kilroy's here affect you in the least. But before we get into this, in order to take care of that noise, as he claps his hands together, as this green light, kind of almost like a shockwave, emanates out of them, creating a luminescent bubble out to about 15 feet, and then it kind of retracts in and pops, as you now realize slowly fading away into nothing is the noise of the room around you.
Before we get started, Alcaz, there is something I wasn't able to identify on my own. And I pull out an elephant symbol that was made out of a black material that's magical we got in Darrender that I couldn't figure out what to do.
Is that the one that you brought to, I'm trying to remember, is that the one that you tried to have identified in the, by the House of Law?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me focus on Gerard, but I'd be more than happy to take a look at it in the morning.
Alrighty.
All right. As he kind of sits back in his chair, Gerard, whenever you're ready, as he kind of touches his eyes as they begin to glow green.
Remember, Gerard, the sending stone as I hold out mine.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. As Gerard lays down and attempts to sleep. As we're going to come over to Togric. Togric, you're sitting about eating your pie as you've been gnawing on it for the better part of a half hour as you've ate and drank your fill in this room.
I kind of stand up and stretch and curl up near the fire after the several days of getting rained on. Not necessarily looking for a soft bed, more so than dry warmth.
Okay. As you curl up next to the fire, are you still wearing your armor, or do you disarm?
I do take it off, and I kind of look over the damaged, I guess you could call it, section where the gilding had rubbed off there.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Alrighty. Better than sleeping on the floor, though. That's definitely true.
That's big facts.
Alright, so you said perception check, right?
Perception, please.
Alright, you got it. 15.
So as you look over, kind of taking off your gear, piling it there, looking over your armor and weapons. As you look over the armor, for the most part, it's still intact. There are a few places where the armor is chipped. The gilding kind of faded away. Now that you're paying a bit more closer attention, is obviously this armor was worn by the last king of the Blesnak Kingdom when he fell, and who took quite many savage wounds. The gilding could use a bit of a tune-up, but for the most part, it's fine. Now that you're really taking a closer look at it, though, you do realize that laid into the gilding, the entire thing is lined in dwarfish runes of power.
Do I recognize any of them, or is it far beyond me?
So you can roll me a intelligence check or knowledge history if you have it. I didn't think you had knowledge history.
I think I do, but I don't know if I'm super proficient in it. You said a knowledge arcana or a knowledge history?
Knowledge history, or if you don't have knowledge history, I'll take a flat hit roll.
Alright, well, I'll take my knowledge history here. 8! Nah, that's very far beyond me. I haven't done a lot of reading.
Okay, as you have no idea what these runes are. No idea. You do, however, recognize that they are similar to the ones that are lined on your ancestral battle axe.
Alright.
I mean, battle hammer, sorry. You have a battle hammer.
Yep. Big ol' warhammer from my dad. So I kind of compare the two of them, and does it fit together like a picture, or just similar in nature?
They are almost reflective in nature, as if they mirror each other.
Okay. They mirror each other, so I have the armor off, and I set my hammer alongside it. Is it a perfect reflection, or...?
It is a perfect reflection.
Huh. It sounds dumb, but... As I grab the hammer and I kind of bring it closer to the armor, and see if there's any reaction. If not, I'm gonna lightly
You
tap
do
my arm.
feel a magical reverberation between the two.
Oh, this could be bad. I lightly tap the hammer against the breastplate here. Just a small, like a blacksmith hammer, just a tap.
When you do, you hear a ringing, a high-pitched ring emanate when they touch each other as they glow for just a second before dissipating.
Well, that's strange. I can't believe I hadn't noticed this by now. So I just kind of set the hammerhead on top of it and see if it gives that same reaction.
When you do, it rings.
And I kind of just close my eyes and listen to the pitch. Is it rising or falling, or is it just maintaining that same even?
Constant pitch.
Weird. I didn't know this hammer was anything but something my father had made. Something to check out in the morning, I suppose. As I take it off because that ringing is starting to get annoying. And I curl up a blanket or something along that over the breastplate and lay my head against it near the fire. Begin to drift off.
Let's see. Alright, before I come back to and rejoin Alistair, it's about 10 minutes early, but I think this is the best point we're going to have. We're going to take our midpoint break here. It's just a little early for us, but I think it'll be best before we get into some bigger things. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 10 minutes. It is currently 8:42, so we will be back at 8:52. So wherever you guys are at, we'll be back at 52 after the hour. I think it'll be our best point to take our break for the day. So we're going to go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back, okay?
Bye, everybody. Okay.
All right, and we are back. For those of you guys that are just joining us, thank you and welcome to episode 30 of The Fall of Illidion.
Big 3-0.
It does say giveaway in the title. For those of you guys that are interested, we are doing a giveaway this Wednesday live on stream of a copy of Candlekeep Mysteries, the new book coming out by Wizards of the Coast on March 16th. If you want to enter, make sure you follow us on Twitch. Also head over to our Twitter, where there is a pinned tweet. Like and retweet it, and then you're entered. Like I said, we're going to do it live on stream on Wednesday. We'll be giving away a copy of Candlekeep Mysteries. It'll be the winner's choice as to whether they want to receive a physical copy or if they want to receive a digital copy on D&D Beyond. But with that being said, we're going to get back into it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Nice to see you, Moab Plays, new to the chat, as far as I can tell. Nice to have you with us. But with that, let's get into it. So, the last we had left Alistair, who we're returning to, he had been captured by some unknown assailants, knocked unconscious and dragged to places unknown. He awoke in a room, tied to a chair, which he quickly freed himself. Hearing Sarah, one of the orphan girls that lives at his orphanage, he burst through his door to save her, stepping out into the next room, attempting to get out as quickly as possible. His weapons and armor gone. He saw Elaine, his maid, his house servant, who he's quite fond of, being tortured, used as a dartboard by some of the guards that had taken him, the bandits, thugs, whomever they are. He quickly cut them down with his bare hands, his claws and teeth granted to him because he's a catfolk. And that's where we left him. As you've just thrown the last guard on the ground, tearing the arteries out of his shoulder, blood dripping down your claws and chin. As you look around the room, as you see Sarah almost hyperventilating in the corner in a panic, as Elaine kind of looks at you, half dazed, almost ready to pass out, her eyes beginning to cloud over.
Oh, sorry, that was a real life yawn. I gotta go over to Elaine. Alistair wasn't bored. It was a little bit of a boring fight, but he's motivated. We gotta go over and get Elaine out of the chair. So I'm using my claws, cut the ropes. Try to get her out of there.
Okay, so as you go over, as you go to cut down her rope, she just kind of falls into your arms, just kind of leaning over you. She just whispers in her ear, "Thank you."
Yeah. Call out for Sarah. Sarah, I need you over here. I need you to be able to walk. I gotta try to drag Elaine with us.
Okay. As she goes, I can do that.
Atta girl, that's what I need you to do. Where was that open door that the guard was talking about?
In the corner. It's not even a door really, but just kind of a walkway that you could walk down. As you kind of begin to drag Elaine, half unconscious, as she quickly does pass out on your shoulder. Sarah behind you, she kind of, in two hands, just picks up one of the dropped and blooded maces by one of the guards, just holding it close to her chest and kind of shaking as she looks around the hall.
My girl. We're going to go into that walkway. Hopefully there's some hints in there that can tell me where I need to go.
Okay. As you walk down the hallway, each step walking forward, ringing throughout the hall. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. So I'm going at perception. will be a 24.
All right, with that 24, you do hear voices echoing from down the hall. Somewhere off in the distance, you're not quite sure. Looking around the hallway, you do see that it seems to stretch off into the distance, maybe another 70 feet as far as you can see. But as you look down the hallway, you do also see a strong, once again, iron-bound wooden door to your left. And then to your right, there is another just plain wooden door. Both of them seem to be shut.
So I don't know where the voices are coming from. I'm gonna check and see if. Actually, I'm gonna have Sarah. Sarah, see if either of those doors are locked. Don't open them.
I can do that as she kind of runs forward and just quickly checks the one on the left. The one on the left is locked. As she walks a bit forward and goes to the one on the right. As it just kind of crops open as she just drops it and runs back and hides behind you. It's open.
Go check that one out. Obviously, I got to take the lead on this, but I'm gonna go over there, fully open the door, and just kind of do a little sneak peek, see what's in there.
Okay, as you open that door, you'll see a large room strewn about. There's a kind of a small armory on the walls, as there's armor racks with different breastplates, chainmails, all in different states. Weapon racks filled with a multitude of weapons. And then on the table, you will see a bag, your bag, strewn open. Your thing spilled across, along with your axe sitting out with your armor.
Alright. Sarah, I need you to shut that door real quick. See if you can't lock it too.
As she turns around, there's no lock, but I can shut it. As she just shuts it.
Alright, I need to probably lay Elaine down. Is there like a empty, like a table or something like that?
Yeah, you could clear off some space on the table as you kind of push your things out of the way, making enough room for you to lay her down.
Sounds good. Give me like 5 minutes real quick. I need to put my stuff on.
Okay. As you quickly put on your armor, calling Sarah over to help you in certain places where it's difficult in order to save time, as you just kind of strap your leg pieces on, your breastplate, and then grabbing your axe until you're finally fully manned and put together. Elaine's still not yet waking up.
I don't think
she is bleeding from several places.
Yeah, this is more of a time crunch at this point. Alright, Sarah, we got what we needed. We need to find a way out of here.
I didn't see how they brought us down here. They came and they surrounded us and they put a bag over my head, and then they put a bag over I don't know.
Was it another child that they put a bag over, or was it Elaine?
No, I was with Elaine, and they came up behind us, and she said that we would come along, and they put a bag over my head, and I guess they put a bag over her head, and then I heard they told us down, they threw us in the back of a cart, and I heard a bunch of people, and then I heard the water, and then we went inside of a building.
Something real quick. Was it like running water, or?
I don't know. As she kind of starts to freak out for a moment.
Okay, it's gonna be all good, Sarah. We're gonna get you out of here.
Roll me a flat charisma check to try to calm her down. Yeah, that 8 is not going to cut it. She just kind of starts hyperventilating, and she's just like.
I'm like trying to do like 2 things right now. I'm trying to like rack all these my brain for like local like rivers, streams, and whatnot, and also trying to carry a dying woman, and also trying to be a babysitter for a child with a mace.
If you guys are interested in the map that he is currently looking at right now, down below we do have a copy of our map of the Free Marches in which you can find Emberfall on it. So
It's all handmade, so please look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
yes, I worked hard on these maps.
Oh, yeah. Only thing I can think of is possibly the river. That's the river. Okay, Sarah, we're gonna get you out of here. All right, I need to just stay calm. Let's go. Trying to get her mind off it. Let's go find another door to try to get us out of. Actually, let's just keep going down that walkway.
Okay. All right. Do you bring Elaine with you? Or are you going to leave her here while you explore? How do you want to do this?
I gotta drag. I gotta like kind of do that one arm drag with her.
Are you like carrying her like over the shoulder? Or are you just throwing her over your shoulder?
You know like the one arm carry where like you wrap one arm around her and like you gotta drag her along.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Yeah.
As you guys
So her feet are
head
just dragging the floor. No worries.
Yeah, I mean like
Alright.
she's unconscious and she's dying. I think her feet will be fine if she survives this.
I mean,
All right. Well, we're gonna stay with you as Togric is asleep and Kilroy and Alcaz are examining Gerard, attempting to sleep. So we're gonna stay with you for a bit. As you continue to walk down this hallway, the dank. Now that she mentions it, you do catch the whiff of salt water on the air, as it seems to touch your nose. As you continue down the pathway, the voices get louder and louder until you can, while you don't recognize the male voices, you distinctly make out the voice of Ashley Domness. You can't quite make out yet what they're saying, but you recognize her voice.
Stealth here. So
Okay. You're gonna stealth while walking along with a 6-year-old.
No, like that's what I was literally saying is I
Okay.
cannot stealth here. It is physically impossible
Fair.
for me to stealth. I mean, at some point you just gotta bite the bullet and just keep going, try to figure out what the hell's going on. So I guess keep moving forward.
All right. As you continue to walk along, roll me perception.
Alright, super fun. Like this one.
All right. You're walking along, not quite able to make out the voices as you continue to plod along till all of a sudden you hear Ashley say, "Hey, did you hear that?" as the voices stop.
Bruh. Come on now. Alright.
The sheer level of done in that, bruh.
I'm gonna call out, be like, Ashley, I know it's you. What are you doing here?
Alistair, they've got me. Come on, come quick, save me.
Ashley?
I wish you weren't dumber than a box of rocks.
No. But at the same time, like, it wasn't her yelling before she heard me.
That's true.
Big facts. Gotta save everybody, I know. Hey, Ashley, you weren't screaming before you heard my voice.
Fuck it, he's found us out. I'm taking my gold and getting out of here. He's your fucking problem. As you hear footsteps ring off in the distance.
Didn't want to have to do this. Oh, sounds like I'm about to be somebody's problem, so I gotta kind of like look over at Sarah and be like, Sarah, I need you to watch Elaine as I lay her against the wall, kind of propping her up.
I can do that.
Alright, atta girl. You might not want to watch this either.
All right. And as you turn around the corner, Halo redeems it's a trap. And as you turn coming into the open area, your axe blazing, gallantly charging into battle. You look around as the room is full, and standing in front of you are 15 soldiers, each with their shields and maces standing proudly in the air. Ringed behind them is a line of 5 bowmen, and sitting up on an elevated pedestal almost, this tall chair overlooking the rest of the room, is your adopted brother. Welcome, Alistair.
Bro, what you doing?
Oh, sitting here inside of our little hideout. I thought me and you needed to have a conversation, but I see you've already conversed with some of my associates.
I'll be honest, I've never really tasted human blood before. I'll let you know your men tasted pretty tasty.
Of course they did, my little savage brother. As this large, very stout dwarf sits up on this pedestal. He's got very peculiar dwarf with his blackened, almost red-tinged beard comes down, braided in several braids that are lined with these braid clips that are jeweled and embossed, very sparkly and glittery, that come down. He's got his same large hat as before, very opulent and floppy, for lack of a better term right now. He's wearing a beautifully tailored vest that comes down with a small rapier at his side, his very fine leather breeches ending in a very nice pair of leather boots. As he kind of looks out at you, but I see you've already conversed with some of my friends. So what's it gonna be? Are we gonna talk, or do you want to die here? Either way, I inherit.
Willing to talk.
Okay.
Before you kidnapped a good friend of mine and a small child who's like a sister to me. Now I'm gonna kill you and all your friends, and I'm gonna go find that Ashley girl, and I'm gonna cut her head off, and I'm gonna kill everybody.
You could try, or I could allow you to avail yourself of our resident healer, Connor Lynch the Dark, after our name and NPC by Halo AE, as this dark-skinned human walks forward, a black, long braided black beard coming down, braided several times. It almost reaches down to his belt. He's wearing cornrows that come back, braided together in the back that reach midway down his back. He's got a black cloak that kind of hangs down as he wears the holy symbol of a patron that you're not quite familiar with as he stands forward. Or I can allow your companion here to avail herself of our healer. You can sign over your deed to the home and your inheritance, and I'll allow you to leave here with not only your life, but your friend's life, because in the time it would take you to kill me and all my friends, she'd bleed out.
Hang on, this takes a lot of thinking from Al.
For Connor and Alistair, let's be real.
Just kill him quick.
You know, honestly, that would have been a really reasonable thing to do. And I was willing to be reasonable until all this happened. So now you found unreasonable Alistair. And it looks like everybody dies, including Connor.
All right. If that's how it's gonna be, let's go and take it over to combat, and let's let's get this going.
Right.
All right.
We will
Let
remember
me-
Alistair as he lived, doing the same thing upon his death. Alright, pulling us over to combat now. It's not mapping over correctly. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I said 15, didn't I? I sure did. Damn!
Help the
Like
enemy.
that. And help the enemy. Big rough, Halo. You really don't like him.
Seems like it. Sorry about the delay on the combat screen here. Having a little bit of trouble.
He's
Should
gonna
take just
get
a
you
second.
so bad on one of the Wednesday games.
True. Halo's over here abusing that. God damn, that's a lot of people.
I'm convinced all of the
Well-
gifted subs were just a ploy to get you killed. He's building up all the dragons from gifting subs
Yeah,
just to dump them on
this has
traps
been the longest
You
extra
have-
con in a
enemies.
while.
Alistair, go ahead and roll me an initiative while we're getting
Alright.
the map up.
All right, it's back up. Sorry about that, guys.
Come on. Oh, that's not bad. That's great. It's not bad. Boys. It's been
There's
fun
nothing on the
fighting
bro.
with you guys. Unless I somehow survive. Because I am at... I haven't fought in a while. I'm at full health. Oh wait, no, I'm not. No, I remember what I'm at.
All right. Yeah, you want to go ahead and correct that then to what you're at?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Yeah, I was at under half. I was at 30 HP because of that fight beforehand. This gosh darn axe. Love that thing.
It looks like Demorbid Barbie is trying to give him a chance and having the DM switch dice right now.
Okay, that is a good call. So, for the stream, just so you guys all know, I'm switching out my Dwarfen die. Okay. And I am busting out
Dude, plastic ones.
the red metal die.
Oh, those are just
I only have good die.
Can't get bad die if you don't have bad die. See how that
No,
works?
it goes,
Um,
all the bad dice go into the retirement sack.
No, we give those all to Joe. It's fine.
All right. Let's just go ahead and let's get this party started. Alistair with the 21, you are first.
Ugh. We will remember you.
Well, at least I have Mighty Blow now. So we're gonna go into Wolfang technique, making me more athletic, quicker to the untrained eye, and they shall stumble whenever I get within their range, because they are mazed. That's my animal-like attacks.
Okay.
So
All right.
I
So-
will pull out my axe. I'll slam it on the ground. I'll be like, it's about to get real bloody. Because you're all about to die.
As they kind of all look at each other and laugh. Sure we are. As you hear Sarah from the back, Alistair!
I'm gonna kind of take a look behind me, like, whisper to myself, I'm sorry, little one. And I'm gonna attack this guy
Okay, roll it.
with
Thanos
Mighty
movement.
Blow. So 29 hit him.
29 does hit.
Plus my... We are level 7. God, Mighty Blow is so good. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
As you deal 50 points of damage, just smashing into him with your axe, cutting him from shoulder to groin, as he just blood spurts over you and his allies, as he just slumps over to the ground, dropping his weapons, as instantly everybody crouches.
Yup. And then I'm gonna move over. Hell, get this guy. I'm gonna be covered in blood by the time this is done. Oh yeah, hang on, I gotta roll my damage too. Give me 1 sec. This is where the axe doesn't do so great.
Yeah, because he hurts himself.
Oof. Oof. I'm gonna kill myself. Alright. Attack this guy with my cleave. Which will be...
Okay.
It's an 18 hit is flat-footed.
An 18 does hit his flat-footed.
Guy. 35 damage.
35 damage. As once again you kind of step over, slicing through him as he also drops to the ground.
And then for my second official attack, give me something good. Gotta take 5 off this. 24 hit.
24 hits.
36 damage. God damn.
Alright, as you slice into that one, killing him as well, as you just charge into the center of the chat, just smash, 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 as you slay all 3 of them in the center of the line repeatedly.
Uno momento, let me roll my damage. 2d6.
As you're doing that, do you have anything else you're doing on your turn?
That's about all I can do, my friend.
Alright, as it comes around and you just hear your brother go, alright, he's shown what he can do. You.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Yikes. I feel like this is off Lord of the Rings. This is
All
like
right.
a Lord of the Rings thing.
As you're surrounded, as they just begin to beat on you from every single angle.
Am I bored, man?
Halo, you're a mod, but it's emote only chat. All right, as they begin to beat on you from every single angle. Let's see. Does a 18 hit you?
I believe it does. Just give me 1 second. I gotta look. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah. Yeah, it does.
All right, as 1 hits you.
No.
15. Miss. 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 19 is a
Yup.
hit. So it's 1, 2, 3. One more swing and a hit. So you'll get hit by 3 of them.
Alright.
They're gonna come
DM
around. Really?
Yeah, DM
yeah.
reroll.
More of a
I'm
DM
hits.
reroll. Okay. All right. That's a critical failure. From the hit to the critical failure, as he will instantly kill one of his allies.
I am so good.
So you'll only get hit twice then.
Oh wait, no.
for 9 points of damage and then 5 points of damage.
Where's that 1 HP emote at? Put that in the chat.
Oh gosh. Halo Redeemed, help the enemy.
As all of the archers look down, backing up, you're standing here just a hair's breadth away from death, looking about at your brother, who just holds up his hand. As the arrows just begin to streak across, smashing into you from every direction as you're peppered with arrows. You fall to the ground. As you will take 28 points of damage.
All right. Well, boys, it has been fun. As I collapse to the ground, I'm going to try to claw my way out of the room, hand by hand, to try and see Sarah one last time.
All right. As you look back over at Sarah, she's just kind of crying, tears streaming down her face as she looks out at you. Elaine opens her eyes kind of for just a moment, but regaining consciousness as both of them stare at you. As you kind of reach out for them, she looks at you and just waves.
So I kind of gasp. Remember the fun that we had. This is not my memory. It would be better for it in the long run. As I try to reach out to grasp her one last time, and as I do, my hand just collapses.
As Alistair falls into darkness,
Dead.
slowly slinking away into the depths.
But hey, I get to see Dad again.
As he fades away into the depths, huh?
Yep.
True.
As he
Bro.
just disappears.
True.
As Alistair Ray has fallen in defense of his friends and Sarah. Who redeemed the dad when he died? You're an asshole for that.
It's a morbid part.
It was Halo.
Like.
Give me Nilla Gorilla's in the chat for Nilla Gorilla dying. Nilla's in the chat for that. He is leaving us. Alistair and Nilla Gorilla is actually getting deployed. So give us Nilla's in the chat. He was going to leave us anyway, but he decided to go out on his own. So Nilla's in the chat for him.
Yeah.
He chose his own way to leave.
Nobody ever.
Nobody writes me out of the story but me.
You want me to die? You want me to leave?
You're gonna have to
I'll
kill
leave.
me. We're gonna brain that dwarf.
As that's where we'll leave Alistair. Him falling into darkness, God knows where. Sarah and Elaine missing, still in the clutches of his brother. As we are going to come back to the rest of our companions, and I'll add this really sad Eris death music that depresses me.
Gotta Google how Boromir died. I'm pretty sure that's how he died.
Yeah. Just a couple too many arrows in a couple too many important places.
I don't know what you mean. I didn't steal that from anywhere.
No.
Yeah, Nilla's in the chat for Nilla Gorilla. Rip Alistair. He was a meme character, but he was one of my favorite characters. I know the stream liked him, so...
To be fair, that was like one of my best meme characters too.
It was.
One of the better meme characters.
It was. That was my favorite Nilla Gorilla character. Hopefully, when he comes back, we'll be able to get him in another stream. or maybe even while he's overseas. I know we've talked a bit about that, and we'll be able to get him back. But for now,
Onwards with the game. The show must go on.
Au revoir.
Yes.
Au revoir.
All right. As we're going to come back around to Kilroy, Gerard, and Alcaz. Gerard, as you kind of lay back, falling asleep into the ether. We are off emote-only chat, by the way, guys. It's been 10 minutes. As you kind of fall back asleep, sliding off into the ether, you fall into a dreamless sleep. As Kilroy, you will spend the night with sitting there studying him, with nothing occurring. At a certain point, after a few hours, Akaz will turn to you and say, I haven't noticed fuck all, have you?
It's one of those nights where nothing's gonna happen.
Well, when has nothing happened? Have you noticed a pattern to when nothing happens? Maybe we could get clues from that.
So far, we've had about a week's worth of dreams, and then a few days of nothing, and then so far about a week's worth of a new dream.
Were you doing anything specific on the nights that he didn't dream? Is any clues? Is anything that maybe was done differently?
All I remember is traveling. There's nothing that stands out of the ordinary.
Well, doesn't look like anything's going to happen tonight. You might as well get some rest, and we'll try to tackle it in the morning. Gods, this is confusing.
It only gets more confusing from here. As I lean up against the bear and I tuck the sending stone between my shoulder and my ear.
Okay, as Alcaz will kind of nod to you as he heads out as you wheedle off to sleep. Togric, you went to sleep first, so you'll wake up first. As your back is a bit sore, having slept on couch next to the campfire. But for the most part, you're fine. As you kind of crack your back and awaken, the fire still raging as you notice it has been stoked and refueled overnight while you slept.
That's creepy. I must have been more tired than I thought. Sleep through somebody stoking a flame. And I stretch and kind of look around the room, make sure none of my stuff is missing.
None of your stuff is missing as you see all of your stuff, your things in the chat surrounding you.
Right. And I kind of look over to see if they had come by this morning, but notice that I'm the only one in the room, right?
Yes, you are the only one in the room, but as you look around, the candles have been refilled and relit, and there is a bountiful breakfast set out for you. Not as much as last night, since your companions never returned, but you see fresh apples, bread, eggs, crisping bacon, still smoking, almost burnt black, breakfast casseroles, and all different manner of foods, biscuits.
No. I heard bacon. All right. There will be no bacon when I'm done eating. But the other things will probably be left, because they probably made a good amount of bacon. So you said almost black, and I actually salivated a little bit, so.
Okay. As you go over there and sit down, you have the option of a hearty ale or a piping coffee set out for you.
Oh, coffee, 100%. Just
All
this
right,
once.
You begin to tuck into your meal. You're eating, kind of digging into it, before finally clearing your plate and pushing it back. It's early. The sun's still, you can tell by the light peeking through the windows on the exterior wall that it's still dawn. What are you doing?
Well, no, absolutely. Wow, that was supposed to be a fake yawn, turned real. um, there's absolutely no way I'm climbing the 300-foot chain to get to the academy. So I guess I can brief Alexander on my own. Gives me the creeps. As I dress myself, don my armor, and hide the scratches as best I can. Come to think of it, I don't know if I would have my hammer. Unless Gerard handed it to me. So.
You have your hammer.
Alright.
He gave it to you before you left. You just
That's
hit
right.
it well on your way back over.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and meet with Alexander if possible. I know it might be busy with the whole everything problem, but
As you kind of walk out the door, there are two guards standing there. Emberfall guard, no blood knights, nothing special, kind of standing out. And when you walk forward, they go, "Sir, where can we escort you through the castle?"
supposed to debrief Alexander. I'm a bit late, but
Yes, he wakes early lately with everything going on. He asked us to take you and your friends to him as soon as you awoke this morning.
the rest of them are a bit preoccupied at the moment, but I was present for all of the events, so I should have enough information for him.
Okay, well, follow me, sir.
Sure.
As he takes you down the hallway to the royal apartments that you had been in before, into the long conference room in which Duke Alexander Blake holds his council. As the door opens, you'll see the Duke on the far side of the table. He's got a map of the city strewn in front of him. Different figures placed on the map. Next to it is a map of the northern free marches in the immediate area. As you'll see the forces of Yvren notated on there, as you'll see the forces of Emberfall notated on the map as well, along with a few Oathsworn icons. As he's sitting here, just kind of sitting back, his hand, he's just kind of rubbing his head. For those of you that haven't seen Alexander before, Alexander is a young man in his early 20s. He's wearing his typical garb, his long red robe coming down, lush white fur lining the top, the sigil of his house on the back, his wonderful vest, his red vest lined with gold, his golden amulet coming down into his silk pants that come into his silk boots. Very well dressed, no weapons at his side. Of course, as always, still wearing his porcelain white mask, his hood up, lined in gold, so you cannot see his face. Alexander always wears his mask. For those of you in the chat, I don't think anybody on the stream is aware, so we'll give you a little bit of background, because in the game they already know this. Alexander wears his mask because he's disfigured. While he was born into this noble house, because of a confluence of magic amongst his parents, Alexander was born a conduit, which means he has no magical power. Every single being within the realm of Eridar has some inherent form of magic. Those that are born without magic are called conduits. They're highly dangerous and don't often live throughout childhood, but because he was a noble, he was taken care of and allowed to. This means he absorbs all the magic from the area around him. He's somehow learned to control it, but this also means he must stay isolated, and he's very sickly, so he doesn't get out much to see his people, but he's very intelligent, and he stays hidden in his castle, managing things from the shadows. In front of him is a man you've not seen before, a tall figure wearing the red armor of the Knights of Ferric, a red cloak coming down with their logo on it. He's got golden hair that seems to be just graying just barely at the tip, pulled back into a ponytail, clean shaven. On the opposite side is Torvin, with whom you are most intimately familiar, is they are having a very heated argument about troop placements that stops as soon as you walk in the door. Sitting in the corner, not really a part of this conversation, you'll see a woman you've not seen before as well. This one fairly young, maybe in her mid to late 20s. Brunette hair streaming down in a ponytail down her shoulder. She wears a cutlass at her side with these high sailor's boots and a white tunic kind of opened at the top.
Well, don't stop on my account. Good morning to you all as well.
Ah, Torvin, the Duke says. Enter. Togric, I'm sorry. Enter. It's been a long night. And I was just speaking with Torvin a bit about some of your journey. Everyone, why don't you leave us for a moment so that way I can speak a bit with Togric in private. As everybody just kind of looks at each other and finds out as they kind of walk past you. The woman kind of looks you up and down with a long stare for a moment before just giving you a smile and walking past. The man giving you not like a flirty smile, but just kind of like you're interesting smile. The man giving you a long, hard stare, just very serious, unbending face as he walks past you. He just looks extremely frustrated right now.
Cheery bunch.
They're just arguing about strategy, and of course, it's almost impossible to coordinate with the Oathsworn right now with Gregor gone. I need some good news. Hopefully, you have some for me.
Derrinder should be sending aid shortly, as well as Ferric. They were gathering grain when we had left there.
Thank the gods.
Maybe in the future, redesign the food storages to not be in the same exact place.
I mean, they weren't in the same exact place, but Hightown is the most elevated and safest location in the city. They were strewn throughout the sector, but we never expected damage on that level, localized to one location.
This is why dwarves build underground food cellars. Anything short of an earthshake and you'll be fine. Science.
To each their own.
There's always room for improvement. But
You're right, though we may have to diversify our stores of food moving forward. This is completely unforeseen.
Indeed. I'm sure Torvin has briefed you on majority of our time away.
Some, for the what he had part, but I'd like to hear it directly from you. He, of course, told me that he didn't venture down to the depths, and he wasn't with you when you made some kind of discovery beneath the city of Ferric. I'd like to hear about that as well.
That one's a bit touchy, but yes. Underneath Ferric, there's ruins of the foremost stronghold of the Blesnak Kingdom. It's in ruins, still has a few guardians active and patrolling the place, an intact treasury, leftover schematics, things of that nature, some cultural items of note. It seems as though both Derrinder and Ferric, and of course yourself, have eyes on the place. Not exactly, good news.
It's fine. We'll figure it out. I'll speak to our ambassador down in Derrinder, and we'll work out a joint expedition to explore the city. My father and your father declared their brotherhood together. As far as I'm concerned, your family is my family. There will be no conflict between us.
Glad to hear it. I know you had mentioned a joint expedition. That's wise. The sentinels down there seem to, be very hostile to anyone not with the blood. So, just keep that in mind. There's a few dozen that are operational by now, I would think. More every day.
Okay.
But there's a demonic presence beneath the rubble, supposedly still active. Don't have any more details.
We might have to hold off. We might have to hold off on exploring it then until we can coordinate with the Oathsworn.
Possibly. They're buried under a few thousand tons of rubble, if that helps. So, as for Derrinder itself, you mentioned you were interested in what happened there, or am I mistaken?
No, yes. So you said your father is well now? I mean,
No thanks
does
to
King
anyone
Torum
there.
live?
King Torin lives. Honestly, I've been away so long I forgot how, slow things can be.
Dwarven politics. My father's position is not one I envy. I think humans are bad enough.
You can say that again. And, an old remnant from the past, so I kind of look at Torvin evenly,
No, remember, they all left. They all
Ah.
left. Even Torvin left.
Oh, okay. I thought he stayed in. My bad.
Nope.
Torvin's brother, white hair. He was the one who had orchestrated the assassination attempt on both myself and my father. I don't know if
But there was an assassination attempt on you.
Yeah,
Torvin
literally the
mentioned
moment I said
something like that,
that.
but he didn't go into detail. He said he wasn't there.
It was close, Alexander, but I'm alive. So, and a few new scars are
That's what's important.
nothing terrible. But he's dealt with. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring him back alive, but that conspiracy's put to rest. Father's recovering. He has taken some of the water from the chalice, which should go a long way to restoring his health, if nothing else.
That should do him well.
He mentioned he'd be sending out aid as quickly as possible once he was up to date on what was going on. So. And
Yes, we've had word. I think there should be aid from Heroes Rest before long. We've had word from Commander Flint over there that one of their ships should be arriving within a few days with provisions.
how is Gaius? I haven't seen him around in some time.
I haven't seen him around in some time either. He's been cooped up over there with his men, renovating that old fort that they've got in Evergrowth.
Yeah, I'm sure the Grand Master can't wait for the next time he has to tithe. Running a mercenary company and all that. But, I know Ferrick's grain should be here shortly. They were getting wagons full prepared when we were setting off. So, within the week, I'd say. Which, judging from how the slums are right now, you could use it 2 weeks ago.
Yes, it was. That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about.
More work, huh?
It never ends. But first, payment from your previous work as he pulls out a chest underneath. I believe the promised reward was originally, I think we said 50, but I don't think that quite covers your trouble. As there's 4 of you. Here's 800 drakes.
800 drakes. So I pull out 200 of them, and I slide them back across the table. Put it towards grain. I don't really need a paycheck for saving my father.
Fair enough. But
Besides-
that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Is the so Duke Garrett went out, rode out to his people just last week. His entire retinue, his wife, their children, his steward, his captain of the guard, all that really, and the high priestess of the Sisters of Mercy from Illidion, all that remain from that fallen city's higher echelon. He intended to erect a large pavilion and to leave the castle to live amongst his people, to set the example and to try to guide them through this troubling time. There was some kind of
Riot?
Yes. We don't know what set it off, but it ended in a riot. The girl, the high priestess at Ailswith, was pulled into the crowd. We found her torn apart 3 days later. And the boy, his eldest son, has yet to be found.
see.
I need you to see if you can find the boy. Dead or alive, his parents need closure, but as it gives you, like, he just kind of leans in. Alive is preferred. The Duke is gone mad with grief between the disappearance of his son and the death of his wife.
Is this,
I don't know if he can handle this loss.
is this an official request to our group or a personal one to me?
I'd like your group to look into it. You've proven yourself quite efficient, and this requires the utmost discretion.
Alistair's not particularly good at that, but he can crack a few skulls, I guess. We'll try to limit civilian casualties. They're just starving. I get it.
That being said, does he kind of do what you have to do to find the child?
Will do. Always do. It's not right. Kids getting swept up in all this. Okay. Got any leads or kind of in the dark here? I haven't seen you know who around. So.
No. I sent our associate out there to go and try and find him, but there's no luck. Just a second. Let me pull up my notes for this. Apu went out there and tried to blend into the crowd and see if anybody had anything to say, but there was no such luck. I know there's a gang operating out there called the Sparrows, who often operates in the sprawl. Kind of a
I've dealt with
rich
them
against the
before.
poor. They might know what's going on, and we've heard rumors that there are different people gathering in the city. For what reason we don't know, but we're told that an agent of the dragon has arrived at the city.
Black Dragon, they're probably looking to strangle Emberfall for some coins. We are talking about the same dragons, right?
Yes.
More than likely, they'll try to sell you grain at triple the cost. Lose a few boats on the way after you've already paid. Alright, if you can spare the time, or if who can, there's a information broker who's got a way to contact the dragon and the sparrows. You might be familiar. His name's Leoric.
I've heard of him. I know he deals with information down there. He might be a good way in. What would he know about the dragon, though? I mean, I assume he would know them, but
You'd
the
be
dragon's so
surprised
secretive.
with how many people he can get in contact with, even if he doesn't necessarily have the best relationship with them. Something tells me if there's any non-critical information you can give me to barter, I could probably set up a meeting, if that's what you were looking for.
What kind of non-critical information are we talking about?
Leoric's a gossip. He cares more for buying information with information than selling information for coin. Reinvesting. He's obsessive that way. If there is anything you
Okay.
could tell me about it, just about anything.
I've got something. As he kind of rifles through some papers. Here, as he rolls this up, ties it off. Troop movements in the Silver Downs. This might get you something.
Yeah, probably. Although it always bothers me that he wants this kind of thing. Silver Downs. Yvren troop movements? Or...
Our troop movements.
Okay.
It's a non-critical area, though. So I don't mind you handing it over.
Got it. I'll only part with it if I have to. I'd be more than happy to give up some things. Less important things, of course, that I learned in Derrender. Besides, there's something else I need to ask him about. As I pass over that decoded letter. This was found on Whitehair. Mentioned some symbol of power. And
the
if you
crown.
look at the initials,
It's got to be my father's crown, the ancient crown of the Emberfall. But it's been missing since he fell 17 years ago.
apparently it's for sale at some kind of shady auction that the Orc would know about. Yeah.
But none of his artifacts were ever recovered. The only one that remains is the sword that he gave to Gendry before he left the field. If the crown has been found, because he just kind of looks at you as he says that, and that means the horn has probably been found too. Go ahead.
So he says the horn, my eyes kind of widen because my people still whisper of the horn of the ancestors. So we don't need any long dead dwarves working for someone else.
Right?
You need to find a way to reach out to Gendry. Especially right now. And whether you like it or not, the people could probably use him around. Might go some
You
way
sound
to
like
keep him
Alkaz. Alkaz wants me to reach out to him and offer him the stewardship position.
You'd be wise to offer it. Having him be a steward helps with your line of succession, considering your lack of an heir at the moment.
Because he just kind of, as you says that, he just stares at you for a long moment, not saying anything. You've got to trust your steward.
You'd rather trust our motley band, including Alistair Ray, over the Dragon Slayer. Whether or not that title's legitimate.
I'd rather
that
make
old
Alistair
saying?
Ray the fucking steward.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. If you have to look at it like that, it might buy you some normalcy, Alexander. And personal feelings aside, that's what you need right now. But it's not really my place. So, I take a step back. Just some food for thought. I'll reach out to Leoric and see what I can find, both about the sparrows and about the dragon. Anything that the sparrows are up to recently you know about, or just that they're causing their typical trouble?
Not me personally, but I might start with Apu. He's really the one that pays attention to this. He only really alerts me if it reaches my level.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll find me before too long, since I have no idea how, but he manages to disappear while I'm looking right at him. So, it's kind of annoying even for me.
He's been doing that longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, well, doesn't mean it doesn't piss me off. Maybe I'll check out that old storefront he definitely claims isn't a front. Most piece of trash camouflage I've ever seen. Is that everything? Do you have any other questions while we were gone? Anything we need to know?
Not at this time. But don't go too far. I may have needed you yet. I appreciate everything you guys have done for this city. You're heroes, and Emberfall wouldn't be standing today without you.
Sure thing. As it kind of hits me like a bolt of lightning. Alexander, you absorbed demonic corruption to fuel your magic in the siege, right?
I did.
Do you think you could absorb... I shake my head. Does it give you side effects? Or just a fuel like any other?
I haven't noticed any difference between absorbing corrupted energies and absorbing regular energies. I can't control how much I absorb at any given time, but I haven't noticed a difference.
I see. One of our members, Grandmaster, would skin me. It's fine.
Go on. If there's anything Togric, after every service that you and your friends have offered this city, and me, myself, personally, if I can do you a favor or grant you a boon, just ask.
A friend of mine. He was instrumental in saving my father. he's nearing the end of his rope because of our affliction. I've been thinking about it for a long time, that maybe if we could draw out some of the poison, it might buy him a little bit longer. But Grandmaster's a bit set in tradition, and without a viable alternative, he'll be gone in a week or two.
You do realize the danger of what you're proposing. If I were to draw too much, even an inch, he would perish.
If he's gonna die either way, there's at least a chance he won't with this. But everyone seems so damnably resigned. I don't like it. And I think you're in a unique position to help, where I can't.
I'll talk to Alkaz the next time I see him. You talk to Vythin, your Grandmaster, and if they're both on board and agree to it, understanding the risks, I'll consider it.
Okay, that's all I can ask. Thank you, Alexander. If you'll excuse me, I have a lot to get accomplished, apparently.
Good day. May the light bless you.
As I give him a wry grin, maybe keep that away from me. It burns mighty fierce, you know.
The light should bless anyone, it should be you folk. And after everything that's happened lately, as he kind of knocks the table, I think we could use a little bit more of it in this city.
Yeah, maybe. I always told you those priests were up to no good.
Damn priest, I still can't believe Elias did that. Just to ally yourself with those kind of forces for so long.
People get desperate. Otherwise, why would we do this? As I gesture to my blinded eye. We all three did it. Otherwise, why would we do this? The lengths people will go to for what they think is the right thing is staggering at times. If that's everything.
Yes, that's it for now.
Good luck. You'll need it. As I wrap the door on my way out.
Okay. As we're gonna head over to Gerard and Kilroy. Let's see. Kilroy, you stayed up a while, so Gerard, you will wake up first, kind of opening your eyes as once the spell that silenced the room has faded off, as once again you can hear the cries of people in the room, not as loud as last night, as a lot of the experience had laid off early in the morning, but you can still hear the whimpering cries of those in pain surrounding you, or even the snores of others, as light is just kind of barely trickling through the large windows on the side of the hall.
As I wake
As
up,
you look around,
watching.
you see Kilroy sleeping next to you, just like book next to him, Bella like at his feet, as he's just like chin down, just like sleeping.
No dreams. Guess I gotta wake him up. Hey, Kilroy.
What?
Didn't dream. Guess you already
No.
noticed.
Yeah, I ended up going to sleep. Nothing happened.
Aren't we supposed to go to the castle?
Yeah, I think we're a little late. I look for one of the attendees. I'm like, is Alcaz still here?
As you kind of open the blinds, kind of the cloth that separates you from the rest of the room, and pull one of the novitiates, the fucking God, whatever the word is, I'm having a moment right now. That tend
Novitiates.
to this room. Yes, thank you. That tend to this room. He kind of walks over. He left some hours ago. I assume he's in his chambers.
I look back at Gerard. I'm like, I gotta make a stop before we go to the castle.
That's fine.
I proceed to make my way up to his chambers.
Okay. As you walk up, leaving Gerard there laying on the bed, you walk up the spiraling tower to where you had gained access to his area before. As you go into the large area where the stairwell is supposed to be summoned, it's up. As the stairwell is not currently summoned right now.
I look at the old crazy man. Is he still there?
He is, as he's just kind of nodding off, just drooling down as like his spittle is kind of just like dripping onto this book that he's left open.
I wake him up. I get his attention. I'm like, "Hi, how are you? Yes, what is my name? My name's Kilroy. We met 3 times. Open the stairs, please."
Oh yeah, you're not so fast, lad. You just woke a man up. You can't wake a man up and then rattle off things that fast. What was it you needed?
We've met 3 times. My name is Kilroy. Can you please open the stairs?
Oh, the Grandmaster is sleeping. He was up very late.
At what
Yeah, he was
point
up
did
with-
he say, I don't... At what point did he ask? Sorry.
I was the one who kept him up so late, and he said he would do something for me this morning. So please, will you just let me know?
He's asked not to be disturbed.
Alright, fine. See how it is. And I turn around, go back to Gerard.
As you do feel very groggy, as you probably only got to sleep for like 3 hours since you passed out.
Gerard, we're gonna go ahead and leave now. The old crazy man won't let me up there.
Okay, so where do we head if it's too late to go to the castle?
We should probably still head to the castle. We're just a little late.
Okay, let's go.
All right. As you guys mount Bella and glide your way down to the arcane gate, making your way over to Ember's Fall. It's mid-morning by the time you make your way across the teeming city as people are coming out and making their way either to work or to the market to try to scrap together what meager food that they can find for sale, or getting their rations given to them at the administration offices as you make your way through the teeming, stinking masses of the city at this point. As everybody's out with the purpose of getting food for the day. Eventually, you make your way over to Ember's Fall as you see Togric leaving the castle. You guys kind of lock eyes as you were walking towards the castle and he was walking away.
Hey, it's short and stubby.
Funny from you.
Yeah, I get it.
What? Weren't you with Alistair? Or... sorry.
Remember he told me not to come to his house last night.
That's right. He's just probably catching up with Elaine. I went ahead and reported for us. As I throw a couple of pouches at both of you with 200 drakes in it. We got paid.
Ooh.
This one's for Alistair, as soon as we find him.
So did he say anything? Do we have anything new?
Yeah. Gods, don't we always? Seems like saving the city once isn't enough. There's a couple of groups, as I kind of fall in step with you guys, moving us towards the Grey Rat district. Is that right?
Where you're going towards
Leoric's
so are you
abode on the docks, right?
Leoric's above the harbor district.
Mm-hmm. The harbor district. For some reason I thought we had to pass through the Grey Quarter or something.
The gray side?
Yeah.
You could if you were coming from Northridge. That's
Okay.
normally the way you pass through.
Okay. Apparently the Sparrows are up to something. A group I tried to get into contact with before I left. It seems the Black Dragon are sniffing around, probably looking for blood, with Emberfall weakened as it is. So he needs us to get some information since You know who hasn't been so lucky. So, I'll have to attend to some order problems later. Guess we could divide and conquer. He mentioned meeting up with, the contact at his shop. You remember the one? I'm looking at you, Gilroy.
Gerard went with you to that shop. Kilroy did not.
As I look at Gerard.
I don't know if I remember where the shop was.
So I'll whisper Apu on the other end of the...
Ah, yes. Okay, yes.
So we could, divide and conquer. Besides, you, as I look at you, Kilroy, look too rich to be going to the Harbor District. And
What do you mean as I flash this new cloak and these 2 steel hammers?
And you, I look at you, shiny one, stick out like a sore thumb. So I could handle the Shadio district if you guys want to try to reach out there, or maybe look for Alistair.
I don't think Alistair wants me around.
That, and he's not the most subtle of individuals, and I know he's got that legal trouble going on, so maybe we give him some time.
Yeah, we'll hear from him eventually.
Yeah. Okay. Then, are you alright with splitting up to take care of this, or stick together? I know this place has been a bit dangerous lately.
We can split up. We'll check out the shop.
Appreciate it. Damn, just airing his laundry, he's already dead. We don't know that in character! We are trying to be good people.
Alright, so what's the plan here?
So I'll be heading off to meet with Leoric, to try to get some information. They're going to be heading over to Apu's front shop, I think, that we had encountered before, to try to see what he knows, which is what old Grand Duke advised.
All right, so who wants to go first?
They can go ahead. You got both of them, so I don't mind waiting. I just had my moment.
All right, so you guys are going to head over to the market, the merchants district. I'm sorry. As you guys head over there, while Togric makes his way down to the harbor district in order to travel the waterfront and see whom he can see. We'll go ahead and go. As you guys make your way through to the market district, the place, despite the lack of food in the area, still bustling. As people got to have their stuff. As you walk through, and people are hawking all different manner of things. The Glittering Gold Caravan Company is still open for business, and while there is everything under the sun being sold here, most of the food stalls are empty, if barely anything is on there. And the ones that do have food are quite literally surrounded. The bakery selling out by mid-morning every day. As you make your way down to the alley off the main way, walking down to the small shop, almost hidden in the wall, this small sign hanging out front. As you open it and you see this man just kind of leaning back, hands behind his head and feet up on the counter as you enter. You, of course, being familiar with Apu's alter ego, his disguise he wears as Eldinar the shopkeeper, with his brown hair slicked back, his dark tan skin coming down with his wispy goatee, the familiar raven kind of flying, sitting on his shoulder as he wears this kind of open vest revealing his bare chest.
Is there anybody else in the shop, or is it just him?
It's just him. As once again, there's like a few things on display on the table, a few bits of string, baubles here and there, or a ring, maybe a light suit of chainmail, and then there's like one or two small chests
So, what's up, Apu? We were sent here, by the Duke. Or, not by the Duke. By the King. We had a few questions for you, see if you knew had any answers.
Well, ask away. What are your questions?
Have you heard anything about the sparrows?
Well, I mean, of course I've heard of the sparrows. I mean, most of their interactions are contained to the sprawl, Grayside, the Foreign Quarter. I mean, the poorer areas of the city. They endeavor their best to try to help the small folk and those less fortunate by stealing from those with a bit more gold. Of course, while that sounds in practice like a great idea, in reality, it often ends in extortion, robbery, and murder.
What about recent activities or maybe, contacts that you might know?
With the influx of the refugees in the city, it's hard to tell who at this point who's a sparrow and who's just merely an independent actor. And with all the other remnants of the circle still in the city, there's the Dragon and all different manner of other organizations. It's hard to tell, but if I was looking for one, I'd probably go down and start on the waterfront.
Okay. Also, have you heard anything about a merchant's auction?
An auction? Not offhand. What kind of auction do you mean?
The kind where you sell really shady items. Or long-forgotten items.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. As he kind of, give me a second, let me go pull my notes as he just walks to the back.
Hey, Gerard, I think we're finally getting somewhere.
Why would you jinx it?
He kind of comes back. I trailed these a few before. I've heard these tales of auctions of mysterious items or lost artifacts or powerful relics being moved through the city. We've tried to find them a few times with no luck. We know they take place somewhere in Grayside, but other than that, we haven't been able to narrow it down. Those involved are quite secretive about the whole thing. Sorry I don't have more to help you, but we have looked into this before, but we've never been able to narrow it down further beyond that.
During those times that you knew an auction was going on, was there an area that had more activity than others?
What do you mean?
So, like more foot traffic.
Not particularly that I've noticed, but these wouldn't be large auctions. These would be small auctions of a group of people. I mean, there's only 10 people in the marches that can afford a relic of that nature. If you count them in organizations, that number only grows by a handful.
And you're saying all 10 people would possibly meet in Grayside?
I mean, that's why you wouldn't notice any substantial rise in foot traffic. I mean, these people, and they wouldn't come themselves. I mean, if you were going to go and engage in some sort of illicit activity like that, you'd send an envoy or an emissary. You'd send someone to do it for you.
Not if you wanted to see it firsthand.
It's possible. Depends on the individual.
Say there was a long-lost crown. Who possibly would want to show up to find one of those?
When you say that, like, his eyes narrow as he kind of looks at you. And I assume we're thinking of the same crown?
Does it involve the dwarves?
Maybe.
Then maybe.
Roll me that deception check, my son.
I mean, technically, that is a long lost crown we found. It's kind of a half truth, if anything. Is
Pack would approve to Morbid Barbie. That's right.
19.
Okay. This kind of looks at you for a moment, just knowingly. I mean, it depends. I'm not an expert on knowing their motivations. I'm an expert on knowing where they are and following them. But, I mean, I could think of a few people that might be interested. The Baron Vane, the Circle, any one of the disgruntled nobles who were upset when Balthazar was named the Duke, the Dragon, Yvonne.
Are any of them in Emberfall currently?
They always have. There are always spies from Yvonne here. The Sparrows are always in Emberfall. I just spoke of the Circle's remnants. I mean, there are always agents here. Though I have heard tale of an agent. Not that I know of. I have heard of a agent from the Black Dragon recently arriving, but I mean, I don't know who he is or where he's at. The Dragon's the most secretive organization in the Marches. The cream of the criminal cartel crop.
Alrighty. I guess we're gonna have to go get the rest of this intel.
If I was going to look for the Sparrows or any agents operating, I'd start at the Sleeping Giant on the waterfront. That's where Leoric von Karstel holds court, the information broker. And anybody that wants to know anything in the city hangs out there.
It's a good thing we already got somebody going over there.
Yes, because this went swimmingly last time. Yeah, definitely didn't have to brain him in, and it's fine.
Fair enough. All right. So, as he kind of looks at you, he looks at you and then he looks at Gerard. Any other questions?
Have you ever heard of dreamwalking?
Dream what?
Dreamwalking.
I'm no mage.
You say you deal in information. I just wanted to know if you've ever heard of it.
No, I haven't. I'm sorry. And do Morbid Barbie spend 7,500 dragons and find out?
That's a good question. I guess you'd have to see.
That is a good question.
It's pretty good.
I do know that there are people trying to save up for that. It is pretty good, and I won't be happy about it, but I will do it. It will be highly uncomfortable. I know there are some people saving up to drop it.
Yeah, there's also some people saving up for the scary stuff, so hopefully they just use the barb hat instead.
That's those. So the infernal and divine interventions are set up that they disable after they're redeemed.
Oh, that's frightening. So it's a one and done, huh? All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we can turn it back on at will, but yeah, it's a one and done.
Just do me a favor and don't use it on the Wednesday game. All right, just use it on this one. I have more skin in the other game.
All right, as we're gonna head over to Togric. Togric, so you're approaching the Harbor District as you walk out of the Black Gate, making your way through the
Pull the hood up.
The kind of slanted metal. Sorry, not metal. Sorry, I had the hiccups for a moment. The slanted stone roofs as they curve towards the harbor. The ships glistening in the sea as once again there are dozens of ships docked in Ember Falls. There always are at all times. From faraway lands across the inner sea, the Dragon Coast, the Trade League, or even Galban or the Wildlands, as they all come to sell in the marches, specifically in Emberfall. as you make your way through. Are you going to somewhere specific? In
Yeah,
the Harbor District, or?
There's the same Sleeping Giant Inn that I had went to last time I spoke with Leoric. That's where I'll be heading again.
Okay. As you make your way over to the Giant, the Harbor District is, while not as busy as normal, it is still busy. You know, people are a bit nervous to do business in Emberfall right now. The recent attack and everything that's going on, but there is still a lot going on here as you make your way into the Sleeping Giant. As you walk in, you see the familiar face of Martel the Blue, the owner of the Sleeping Giant, sitting behind his counter, polishing a glass. The Aldari elf in his piercing blue eyes, his blue slash thrown over his shoulder, looking down at you. As you look around, the place is full with an assortment of motley characters. And you, of course, see the Nilfinel night elf, Leoric, sitting back on his lounging couch, peering out throughout the crowd.
So I kind of just nonchalantly walk up and sit on the couch next to Leoric.
So as you go... we got a...
I didn't see any dragon spent, though. I see a cat redeem.
Yeah, I saw cat redeem. I got confused for a second. I was looking around to find a cat, but I didn't see any dragon spent. So I was like, oh, okay. Almost got me. You almost got me. You got a free cat earlier. So your free cat for your free cat redeem. All right. As you go to walk up there, though, there are two burly orcs standing at the foot. They kind of stop in front of you the same way as they did before. Your business.
It's definitely not with you or you. I speak in Orcish.
No business, no pass.
Like I said,
As
I
the same
business.
kind of ugly one.
Not with you. Leoric, you want to call off your goon squad?
As he kind of just looks down, noticing it's you. Let the dwarf pass.
Tell them to bathe once in a while, would you? As I settle in.
As they kind of look at you. They do the job fine. As you come up, sitting on the opposite couch surrounding him, as he's just kind of sitting back here, there's a bard sitting in the corner playing a tune. As it's more dimly lit up here. Even though the whole place is dimly lit, but even more so up here with violet flickering lights, almost like a modern day club. As there are women and men dancing kind of on a small stage, entwining themselves around each other's next to him. He's just kind of sitting back, sipping on his work before. He's a very lithe, dark elf. He's got piercing violet eyes as he sits back, very skinny, but well cut. He's got a short, just kind of mat of white hair that sits across his face. His skin really more violet in hue than black. As he kind of wears this black jerkin that comes up over his chin. He's got a ear piercing in his right ear, and then a nose piercing that comes down. You all are ridiculous in the chat. As he comes down with these massive bangles and rings, just kind of hanging off of him as he looks at you. So, what do you want? As he kind of just sips on his goblet and pushes the bowl towards you in the center of the table it's got a few silvers and gold in it.
It's a tall order. I wonder if you can deliver this time, considering you were so vague last time I was here.
You forget who you're talking to.
Suppose we'll see. First order of business. Prefer an exchange. I know that's what you prefer over coins. I'm looking into getting into an auction that's coming up. You might have heard. Might be why certain dragon individuals are sniffing around lately.
Yes, the dragon has sent some of his mouths to the city. One in particular. Some of his agents to the city, and even a mouth of the dragon. So, the auction certainly is gathering quite an interest. All manner of different individuals here looking into it, even beyond the mouth of the dragon, such that would actually make that little tidbit of information seem disinteresting.
It's that impressive. It's not just the circle remnants or the sparrows. Those are, common tales. So, still, sellers from abroad. Although,
Buyers from abroad, buyers from home, buyers from nearby. There are a lot that are interested this time in what the old goat has to sell.
and you'd be able to get me an invitation?
I might be able to get you an invitation. That'd be costly. I assume you'll want some information as well. That'll cost you as well. This one, as he kind of looks you up and down, especially with your reputation, selling you a ticket would probably ruin that auction for a while. So it's going to require a bit of coin.
My reputation? Whatever do you mean by that? As I kind of give him
Oh,
an
you're a little do-gooder, Death Knight. Don't play games with me. You don't actually want to buy. You want to go in there and fuck it up.
There's a piece or two I'm interested in. I happen to
And we
have
both
a few
know you don't have the
coins.
coins to buy anything that you'd be interested in. It'd take a lot more than a few.
As I gesture to a bag of coins sitting on my waist with more than 200 drakes in it. That, granted, it's not mine, but he doesn't need to know that. He's hitting on me? I doubt it. Leoric's a 10. Togrick's like a 4. So, just keep that in mind.
Yorick is a 10. The Yorick does have like 23 charisma.
Yeah, Togrick's like a 4. No, I'd like to go as under the radar as possible. I didn't say the invitation was necessarily for me, Leoric. I know you have a business to run.
Who's the invitation for then? That shiny friend that you've been trapezing around
Are you
the
kidding?
town with? Or how about your Professor Emeritus? I'm sure he'd blend in quite nicely. Or the bull in the china shop.
You're pretty well informed, although that information's kind of low shelf, isn't it? Especially for you. There's a few others we have.
It is. Maybe you'll send in Eldinar, Apu, or maybe you'll send in your friend Torvin.
Those would be a couple of choices, but that said, Torvin and, well, Eldinar are a bit high profile. But, you seem to be digging, which means you're more than willing to sell me this invitation. As long as I'm not the one going, from what it sounds like.
I don't care who goes. I don't particularly like some of the individuals that are going. I wouldn't quite mind if their parade was rained upon, but it'll cost you.
Well, I have the most up-to-date news of a few different places. Darrender, for one. I'm sure you haven't quite heard anything about that place just yet.
It's been a while since I've been at Darrender, but I know the place quite well. I was there for several years. But why don't you tell me your news, and we'll see if it predates mine.
Keep in mind, I also have something a bit, compromising for you if you don't like this bid.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware that, my father was nearly assassinated.
It's no secret.
Well, what you're not aware of is that that particular plot is foiled, and the perpetrator is deceased. And I kind of watch his face because I know he has correspondence with said perpetrator.
Alright, roll me an insight check.
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna beat Leoric. I mean, there's always a 5% chance. I have a plus 12 to this. That's pretty good. Not when you roll a 7. So 19.
Alright, he just kind of... he seems to be completely unfazed as you just kind of look at him and say, oh, that's quite great news.
He's fully recovered.
Well, that'll mean there'll be less conflict among the dwarfen clans then. They'll be able to provide assistance more readily to Emberfall, so wins all around.
There's also a few relics that may have been recovered recently. Am I getting close to your bottom line for that invitation?
You want to sell me a relic for an invitation?
No,
What's the
information
relic?
on what was recovered, I should say. It's a few thousand years old. As I kind of raise an eyebrow.
Is it for sale? Are you looking to move it?
No. I'm telling you what was unearthed. Is that not good enough for you?
Why don't you tell me what was unearthed, and I'll tell you if it's good enough.
A few things. One of which is on my person. As I gesture to my breastplate. Another. The original crown of my clan. Last worn by my namesake.
That is interesting. I don't know who would want to procure that information, but it's certainly interesting. Might be interesting to rival clans.
It's not really my concern who you sell the information to. Mine's about the envelope that I have no doubt you're currently carrying on you. And if I had to guess, about 4 other copies, knowing you. So?
You want to access that information, and I'll give you a discount. How about 450?
How about this letter doesn't go somewhere you wouldn't like it to go? Don't worry, I have copies, as I slide it over.
As he looks out to the letter that he wrote to Vemagor, kind of looks at you. It's not the best decision to try to blackmail me.
I think I've given you more than something in fair exchange for a single invitation of something I have to manage to pull off. Besides, I have a few other transactions I'd like to complete today.
As he kind of pulls out an envelope and slides it across to you. Before you put your hand on it, he kind of leaves his hand on there. All the copies are destroyed. And if you come back in here and try to blackmail me again, you won't walk out.
You're holding the only copy. As I pull the envelope towards me. Now, on to a bit more pleasant matter, shall we? There's a few...
Sure. As you say that, he moves his hand over as some of the dancers begin to come over and sit next to you, as a man and a woman sit with him, as 2 women sit next to you.
If you're trying to rackle me, the last time I was in a situation like this, I was impaled. So, I'd like to decline, as I turn to the 2 dancers.
Your loss, as he kind of looks around. Nobody else is here anyway. Seems to want to talk. Come on, let's go, as he walks off with the man and the woman human back into his back room.
Oh, is he not gonna keep going with my transactions? Oof.
Oh, you said on to more pleasant matters. He assumed you were done. As he kind of stands up to walk away.
Done, blackmailing him. Sorry, I should have specified.
Go ahead and speak up as he's trying to walk away.
There's another matter beyond just the auction. Hate to waste your time.
As he just kind of stops and turns for a moment. Yes.
It's sort of a continuation of what I asked for last time. I need a contact to get in with the swallows. Sparrows. Sorry.
The swallows.
I was like, it's a bird. It's a bird, right? So, yeah. The sparrows. I have something you might like. An even deal, if you will. So I'm holding up a sealed scroll that has the Duke's seal on it.
That is interesting. And what is that? So he goes to grab it.
And I keep it just out of reach. A few troop movements. Can't specify where, that'd give it all away. But
I can
they're
get a
fresh.
name for you. The name's Korgruz. And you can find him in the lobby below. Look for a big orc, green, scar running across his throat.
Give me that name again.
Corgruz.
Much appreciated. As I hand over the scroll to him. Those are fresh. I was a little grabby back home. And let's see. I know the mouth of the dragon is here, but do you happen to know where they're bunking down?
Last I've heard, some business up in Northridge.
Pleasure as always.
Pleasure. As you go to walk down, that is where we are going to stop tonight at 10:40. We've had some
sad days.
Interesting sessions today. Sad days today. Alistair is dead. Nilla's in the chat for Alistair's death. We appreciate having him with us. He is leaving shortly. He's going to be deploying again. Not an overseas deployment, whereas last year he went to Iraq. This year he is going to Cuba to do some... I think he's going to be doing some things down there. But we'll miss him. I know in a few months, once he gets settled, he'll probably will be hopping back on stream occasionally. But for now, he will be leaving us at least for a few months. So, love the Nillas. I know he has left for the day, but we miss him. That's illegal to Morbid Barbie. Get a lot of trouble for that.
Can you now? I thought it was
Cuban
cool
cigars. Shh. Nah.
Illegal now.
Yeah. So Obama made it legal, and then Trump was like, no. And
Okay.
so I'm sure Biden will be like, yes, and we'll just go back and forth until they finally decide to figure it out.
Fair enough.
But we definitely appreciate all of you guys having here. We love having you here. We did hit our goal of 25 subs, so we will be able to put out a new emote for you guys, a new tier 1 sub emote. Love being able to do that. I'll have to find another person to make fun of, so that you guys can get some additional
Can't believe
emotes.
you
Don't
used my
forget, you can
freaking-
also redeem your points. Hey, Halo found that picture. That's all
I cannot
Halo.
believe you used my job application picture. I'm so annoyed.
Hey, let's be real, okay? Nobody got boned as bad. Nobody has a bad picture, though, as Cheek Clapper. I mean,
That's true. I'm gonna put one. Just put one.
check
in
out the
here.
meme. All right, man lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he gave it to me, rat bastard.
Hey man, 140 pounds.
Right.
Later.
Hey, that's good though, man. 140 pounds. Remember, you can get some of those additional emotes, like that one from Cheek Clapper, by donating bits. You can also get the ones of Gunfire or me by becoming a tier 2 or tier 3 sub. But if you don't want to spend any money, you can also get them by just spending channel points and unlocking them for 24 hours. So,
Yep.
with that said, we are going to go ahead and do a raid of another D&D streamer. Make sure to stick around so you can get some channel points. So that way you can continue to fuck with us in terms of adding in additional baddies and giving us advantage or disadvantage. We will be back on Wednesday for episode 3 of Ruins of the Old World. Very excited. That we will be doing our giveaway live on Wednesday, giving out a copy of Candlekeep Mysteries, so it will be a lot of fun. Sam and Dean emote, you know what? We will do a cat emote for you guys.
Probably
I will
can.
get a cat emote set up. But yeah, we're going to be doing a giveaway live, and of course then tomorrow, actually, non-D&D related, we've got some streams. Gunfire is going to be starting his variety stream this week, so he'll be around. And then later that night, there's going to be a bunch of us on, and we're going to be taking our first crack at Valheim. So, pretty excited about that. That being said, we're going to go ahead and get this raid going. We appreciate all of you guys being here, and I hope you have a good one, okay?
You want a dragon episode? Dragon episode. You mean dragon emote? Dragon episode. I'm sure we'll run into dragons at some point. We'll see.
Where we fuck with the dragon? We are. We definitely will.
Yeah, we probably will. Probably will at some point. No dragon storyline, just a dragon. Yeah, we will.
You know what's
at
funny?
some
Is
point.
actually in our Sunday game that we play at home, we have a. Okay. I was about to say, we do have a whole storyline in our Sunday home game where actually
Yeah, man.
Gunfire's character is really based around dragons. They have seen quite a few dragons.
Yeah. It's
But,
great.
alright, if that's something you guys are interested in, we can fight a dragon at some point.
All right, have fun on the raid, guys. Thanks for coming by.
James is like, it's not great. We can't hear you. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and send that raid over. Have a good one.